Good morning and welcome to episode 1696 of Hard Factor. It is Thursday, April 24th, 2025. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Patreon.com/Hard Factor if you need more Hard Factor. Today, Mark is kicking us off. What do you got, Mark?
I do, Will, but 1696, that's got a 6-9 both ways. 1696, come on back, 6-9. You know,
True. Yeah, you just start and end on the one. You can have 69.
You know what I mean?
Ooh, like 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
There you go. Getting to the bottom of what Marjorie Taylor Greene was talking shit about from yesterday's episode, and then also big Firefest 2 update. Huge Firefest 2 update.
Firefest 2. This one's the one.
Yeah.
But it's not, right? Because we did cover that. Like,
oh, well, give it. You're gonna have to wait and see. How dare you? You know, assume that.
I mean, like we talked about it like last week, right?
But this is a new update. Will you don't have faith in it?
Brand new update.
It could be good.
Oh, like it's okay. True. Yeah, true. Could be that it's final. It's on. It's back on. Pat, what do you got on deck?
Frankie Muniz, okay, Malcolm, the one that was in the middle. He's having a hard time, having a hard couple years. And
didn't he just sign a giant new show agreement like this
it's
week?
not about that, okay? It's not about. He's very successful as an actor, okay?
Didn't he try race car driving?
It's about his race car driving.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's having a hard time of it,
Well,
okay?
I mean, they're doing Malcolm in the Middle 2 when he's like 55, so
he's not 55, but he's 39. Okay, he's our age.
Okay. Well, sure, but all right.
It's now called Malcolm in the Middle of a Crisis.
He's middle aged, Pat.
Crisis.
Act like you haven't been called 55 before. You know, I mean, we middle age. Once you hit the middle age, somebody can call you 55.
Middle age is 30 to 60.
Yeah, exactly.
30 to 60.
Come on.
Yeah. I mean, he's in it with
65.
Yeah.
He's in it with us, Frankie. He's entering the middle ages. Wes in the hole. What do you got?
I got an update on how old Pete Hegseth is spending defense dollars over at the Pentagon. And many people, including those who are getting fired, are not going to like how he's doing it. But he's having a great time. He is
interesting.
He's having a really nice time over there at the Pentagon, spending some money on some things that he needs. We're going to talk about
nice. Mm-hmm. Did you signal chat him to see if he had any comments?
No, they kicked me off the signal chat.
Okay. Apparently he's easy to catch on there. You know?
Yeah.
That's what they say. And we're going to keep it in the defense world, but in the tech, the research and development area specifically after that. And so, yeah, I just, I don't know what to say to prepare you for it. Just have an open mind for the last segment.
Tech me, daddy.
Always do.
Yeah, we always do. Come on, Will.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course.
Always.
Wide open.
You always tech daddy.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of Middle Ages, my just outside of the middle age range dad birthday today. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Big Lou.
So MTG, remember, I think there was a live comment from Tiller or something. He was talking. There's some confusion. Apparently, MTG had some very derogatory things to say about potentially the Pope or Klaus Schwab. Well, I figured it out. She tweeted out on Monday, this is an elected U.S. Congresswoman, Marjorie Taylor Greene, good job, Georgia, that there were major shifts in global leadership and evil is being defeated by the hand of God. So hopefully that was about Klaus Schwab, but she did pluralize it, and it was about 2 hours after the Pope's death announcement.
She pluralized it on both fronts, so I think it was definitely about both.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not good. Technically, that's anti-Christian bias. Technically,
here she is booing the Pope being alive. This is when they announced he was alive, and then she was booing him.
She's not a big fan of either of those.
I saw things. Jasmine Crockett, who's her enemy, who coined bleach blonde bad body bitch. I saw her on late night, and she was saying that MTG had tweeted these things about the Pope, and I was like, oh, is there new news here? Because it wasn't super clear if it was about the Pope specifically or Klaus Schwab It was.
No, I mean, no, it's clear.
Oh,
She
plural.
pluralized both things, both sentences, so it's clear it's about both.
Yeah, and there's also Pat. So like I did a little digging and read a few articles. She's come after Catholic leadership before, and she's called bishops that have provided aid to immigrants. She said they're controlled by Satan and that they need to be stopped. So she's
Well, the ones stooping the little boys for sure.
She's talking like a lunatic.
That's for sure.
well, who knows? I think she tosses out "you're controlled by Satan" if someone cuts a wet fart around her. So you know,
Right.
who
Yeah. I
cares
mean,
what
that's
she
just her
says?
go-to.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That's her.
Yeah.
How many times have her
cares?
kids been accused of being filled with Satan?
Right.
So how
Like,
does that work?
10 times a day.
A lot.
What,
Yeah.
what kind of Christian is she? She's a different kind of
An
Christian.
angry one.
Okay.
Not Catholic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Fire and brimstone. Fire and brimstone. You know.
One not controlled by Satan, Pat. What are you not getting? She's no yay on moving the needle with crazy talk these days, though. I mean, I'm still singing the Hook to Cousins in my head.
Me
I
too.
don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
It's a catchy beat. It's a catchy song. And I mean, Kanye, one thing about him, great song composer. No amount of crazy statements will ever take that away. And he proved it with Cousins.
Someone probably was like, he could sing about giving his cousin head years ago, and that would be catchy. And then they were like,
did it.
holy shit. Look, yeah,
He
that's
did it.
right. Proven right again. Speaking of crazy, the people that bought Firefest 2 tickets are crazy. And that's because professional grifter and creator of Firefest, Billy McFarland, is crazy like a fox. And as Will mentioned, we updated about a week or so ago that Firefest 2 was postponed. Largely
All right.
because,
Postponed. Right.
Yeah, postponed. Largely because the date was approaching and McFarland couldn't even fake that the event was going to go down like the first Firefest because Mexico kept publicly saying, no fucking way is it happening. We've not approved it. So,
Right. Isla de Muertos or whatever. Where was it? It was
Mujeres.
Isla Mujeres, right there next to like Cancun, right? And they were like, "We've never heard of this."
yeah.
Right.
Dia de los Muertos because it
But
wasn't.
then he tried
happening.
to save it. Isla Mujeres had never been there. Apparently tiny, right?
It's
So
great.
They would have
Great
known.
ceviche.
They would have known, and the tourism commissioner hadn't even heard of it. So then he was like, "Whoa, Isla Mujeres! Who said that?"
Would have been the biggest thing they've
Billy
ever thrown.
McFarland.
Yeah, by a lot.
Right, but then Billy said, "No, another place in Mexico."
And they said no.
It's just down the street from Isla Mujeres, actually.
It's in Isla.
It's no
Well,
fault of Billy's.
Well, the one thing we also did discuss on the last time we talked about is he did have a clause in there finally that he wasn't going to refund you. So,
Yeah, Wes pulled up the fine print live, and it said no takebacks, no suies, with a
Right.
no refund, you can't sue me terms
Yeah.
for Firefest 2 tickets.
So if you saw that on there and bought the tickets, I mean, it's buyer beware. It's at risk, right?
But McFarland totally promised that the event will be held later this year at a new, better location, bigger and better with updates to come. And
More
while
job rules.
Pat couldn't wrap his mind around why a convicted and habitual con artist criminal wasn't offering a refund, maybe this statement, an update from Billy McFarland, will paint the picture for you, Pat. 'Cause,
Okay.
April 23rd, CEO of Fire Festival, Billy McFarland, released a statement. He says, "When my team and I launched Fire Festival 2, it was about two things: finishing what I started and making things right. Over the past 2 years, we poured everything into bringing Fire back with honesty, bullshit, transparency, fucking bullshit, relentless effort, and creativity, certainly."
Well, the no refunds thing was definitely honest. Hey, you got to say, no refunds.
The effort was anything but relentless.
Yeah. We've taken the long road to rebuilding trust. Yeah, it's quite a long road. We rebuilt momentum, and we proved one thing without a doubt: Fire is one of the most powerful attention engines in the world. He goes on and on and on, talking about how big a brand Fire is, and how about Fire 2. Like, he's almost like talking about how like an actual event has ever happened with this company.
Right.
But
I mean, to his credit, he somehow gets interviews with like CBS because that's, I mean, that's what.
Right.
So I mean, that part it's hard to argue with.
Here's the clincher, real quick, Pat. He says we have decided the best way to accomplish our goals is to sell the Fire Festival brand, including its trademarks, IP, digital assets, media reach, and cultural capital, to an operator that can fully realize its vision. As in, hey, suckers, I got a couple more million in tickets, and I don't want to go to jail anymore. I'm also going to sell the brand, and I'm out.
Yeah.
Offloading
Yeah.
Firefest.
That's genius.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
good.
he's
He's real good.
He's good.
He went to jail. Somebody was like, Billy, you know, you should just put a clause in there that you're never going to refund and you're just going to rob them, right? And he's like, yes, great idea. Got out, put that into action, made some money. Who bought a Firefest 2 ticket, by the way? Like, does anybody know anybody who bought a Firefest 2? Because the people who bought it should be like a honeypot for the CIA.
I have a feeling Logan Paul bought one.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't really know who's buying Firefest 2.
If they announce that Kanye is going to do a live, I gave my cousin head, they could save the whole thing.
Yeah, but
that would be huge too.
True. What if Kanye buys it and makes that the terms?
Dude, that's a seriously interesting proposition, because at the time, Billy only had Antonio Brown confirmed as talent, and frankly, talent representatives are not going to fuck with this guy. But then again, you have this alternative universe we live in, where one of the greatest musical artists of a generation is absolutely nutso in Kanye, that you could have Kanye come in and do it's be on brand.
You just make it a circus. Yeah, it's just make it a circus. Just call it what it is. It's Kanye singing about giving his cousin head, and they will come.
Can we get Joe Exotic there out of jail somehow with his new husband?
Yeah, he'd be perfect.
That would be great.
I'm loving it. I think that'd be a great way to move Firefest to a new owner.
What this reads like to me is he's selling the most expensive internet course on con art and con artistry. Like, I think he's like calling all potential.
Who wants to do this next? Who wants to defraud idiots out of millions of dollars of tickets next?
Transition everything over to you and give you a crash course on how to rip off idiots.
Right.
It's gonna be a streaming service. Okay, Fire Streaming. It's gonna be $3.99 a month. And Chris Hansen of To Catch a Predator fame partnered up with some other guy who bought it. They were saying, "Hey, look, we've been looking for some marquee IP." I remember we talked about a month ago that Napster sold for like $50 million. Made no sense. It's because it's brand recognition.
Yep.
I guess they think, man, Firefest.
Chris Hansen is buying Firefest.
He's in on it. I think he's the bankroll of Fire Streaming.
That's wild. I mean, it is a fire festival when you run into perverts that you set up at a house. So it's
a total fire festival.
Yeah.
How much money do you think Kanye could make if he just went on just a tour of just singing that one song?
Just Cousins? Dude, he'd make a lot of money.
How much did Taylor Swift make?
I'm just saying one song, 5 minutes.
Wes, even you would go to that Kanye show.
I would go. Yeah,
it's more like how much did
you have to be there?
You have to be there.
Yeah,
on his winning tour.
He'd sell out everywhere he went. Wes.
For sure.
There's no stadium big enough.
No, there isn't.
I never thought they'd book me at the Jewish Community Center.
People want to hear this one, Kanye.
Yeah. So many phones out. I mean, that's pretty much it. Marjorie Taylor Greene's a nutbag, and Billy McFarland's ripping idiots off. And he's selling the Fire Festival.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, the world keeps spinning. Those two are still at it.
World keeps turning. Hey,
we're sitting down for that segment.
If you want to chill out, and Marjorie Taylor Greene certainly needs to, you could do so with some Lucy. I'm talking about 100% pure nicotine, always tobacco free. Lucy's got the breakers, guys. That's how I like it. It comes with a little bead, a little pouch, in a capsule inside the pouch where you can break it, and it releases a little bit of extra flavor and hydration. I set myself up with a subscription, so I get my Lucy straight to my door once a month. I use the Breakers Berry Citrus 4s. I have one in right now. They keep me energized and in my chair during the day, if you know what I'm saying. And I really like it. I mean, absolutely don't ever smell. You know what I'm saying? It's tobacco free. It's pure, clean nicotine.
Anything that makes your breath smell better.
That's right. It does.
True, especially the mint ones.
I suggest you guys get on it. Let's level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/hardfactor and use promo code hardfactor. That's one word to get 20% off your first order. And Lucy has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. Again, that's Lucy, LUCY.co, and use code hardfactor, one word, to get 20% off your first order. And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning: this product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical. All right, let's talk about Frankie Muniz, y'all. Frankie Muniz. He's having a hard couple years, okay? He's had 2 years of bad luck.
Oh, no.
He's tried a lot of things since we last saw him. when he was playing Malcolm on the series Malcolm in the Middle. He managed a band. Okay, he bought the Jetta from Fast and the Furious 1. Remember that? He was really into Fast
Okay,
and
so
Furious.
wait. So these are a list of things that he did with his fortune from his enormously successful show he started in as a youth.
What did that Fast and the Furious car cost? Like 25 grand? I wouldn't say it's fortune. I mean, he got paid. He was on TV syndication
With the
style.
spoiler and paint job, 48 grand, 50.
Maybe, but I've been seeing lots of videos online of guys talking about how they were able to buy a lot of the cars from the first Fast and the Furious on the dirt cheap because they didn't know what they had. I don't know, but Frankie's got the Jetta. Okay, the one that
Right, but these are passion projects. I mean, it's a list of passion projects that you're rattling off here.
That's right. He managed a band. He bought the Jetta from Fast and the Furious 1, and
Right.
he parlayed that into a career as a race car driver. I'm a driver. I'm a winner. Things are going to
Okay.
change. I can feel it.
Nice.
Frankie's telling himself.
Can he
every
crash
day.
his first race?
Look, he's crashed a lot. Okay, but that's
No,
not
it's
what's
tough when you're not. I mean, when you get into professional racing, like late in life, I'm sure it's you miss a lot of those not to crash lessons as a youth. You know,
Well, you can't see over the steering wheel.
Yeah, he's 5'5". What is
Yeah.
he doing racing a car?
I think pro drivers are usually pretty. They're like car
They're
jockeys.
a little taller than jockeys, Will.
Yeah,
That's
They're not
true.
huge. They're not giants.
They're not
necessarily,
big
but-
guys. Yeah.
5'5"
There's a
is 5'5" is tiny.
I mean,
think you're-
Joe,
I think
Joe
you're
Gibbs'
giving him some
grandson.
inches, Wes.
He's a tiny
I
little
just
race
looked
car
it up.
driver. They're tiny guys. They're small little guys. You want a tiny little
Some
guy
of
in
them
there.
you can be and be a tiny. You can, yeah.
He's
Okay, but
listed at 5'5", so I mean,
He's 5'4".
he's 5'2". You know,
But
He's
they have
got those
huge.
like midget pedals in the car.
Sure, maybe. They have huge hogs, though. Okay, they got huge hogs. That'll tell you.
You gotta be confident.
Who,
Drive
jockeys?
that car.
No, I'm talking about race car drivers.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Frankie's been racing. Okay, he's been racing a while, and he's still at it. He hasn't found any success. We're gonna get into some of his career stats here in a second, but
And whose cock is this? The horses are mine.
exactly. Yeah.
Jockey talk.
At 2:31 a.m. on Sunday night, Frankie tweeted, okay, this is a late night tweet from Frankie, and you don't like to see a tweet like this.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't like to see it, because it's sad. But
That can't be any worse than Kanye's late night tweet.
No, it's definitely better than that. But Frankie
He did that
tweeted-
first thing in the morning,
Says I'm
actually, which is
Kanye's
crazy.
cousin.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, whoa.
A lot of people don't know this, but
Spoiler alert.
Kanye's mom and my mom are sisters. He said, if I'm being 100% honest, mentally / emotionally, I may be at a new low. Just wanted to say that out
Wait,
loud.
so he
Frankie said.
tweeted that out this week.
That sucks.
Sunday.
The week that he signed a gigantic deal to do a new show.
It's not about that. Stop asking him about his acting career, okay? This is like asking Billy Bob Thornton about acting when he's touring
Yeah,
with
but
the
who
Box
tweets that
Masters.
out?
Wait,
Who
what
tweets that out when
location?
they just got paid $50 million?
Pat, put that location.
It's not about money, okay?
Put that
He can-
tweet up.
Okay.
Where did he tweet that from? What is it? Where's
Me-
that? Venice? What is that? Some kind of resort?
A beach
Mexico.
resort
In Mexico.
Well, just because you and I and most people would be happy with $50 million doesn't mean Frankie is.
Look,
Yeah, obviously, I get that now. I mean, I understand. But
You're not allowed to post that from a beach resort. Sorry.
take him.
yeah, I mean, you're at the fucking piano bar. What are you crying in your beer at the piano bar at a fucking beach? Like what?
Yeah.
What's going on, Frank?
What do you got? You got an early morning scuba? What's going on?
Is he getting
Hey.
in character? Is this a depressing show?
Stop. Stop
Yeah,
giving
did you
Frankie a
miss
hard
the
time.
activity
Okay,
bus
right.
today, buddy?
Stop
Did
it. Okay, he wants you to take him seriously as a driver. Okay,
from his beach resort?
Well, then
where
win
he's
something.
talking
right.
about
Look,
being depressed.
when
Is he
Keanu
driving
Reeves
a little car?
when Keanu Reeves
it's the engine's not big enough. Yeah, he could.
when Keanu
like
Reeves
a
is touring with
leprechaun.
when he's touring with Dogstar, okay, don't ask him about the Matrix. You see what I'm saying? Okay, he's a musician when he's with Dogstar. Okay, he's Keanu on a movie set. Okay, what don't you get about this? Frankie's a driver, and he didn't do well at all on April 18th when he was racing the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. This is 3 days earlier. He's had 3 days to get really low, new low mentally and emotionally.
Okay.
He's at the Craftsman Truck Series. It is a NASCAR series, and it was at the Rockingham Speedway in North Carolina. He had some technical difficulties that derailed him. And here's an interview with Frankie right after he finished 32nd.
I really wish we were in the race, but right at the end of the last stage, my power steering line burst. Had to change the line. I think we went down like 17 or 18 laps. So it's really hard to be out there and want to be do competitive lap times when you're already kind of out of the race. You're kind of racing by yourself. So just trying to stay out of the way. It's a shame because this truck was actually, I think, really good, really fast. When I would let the leaders by, if I wanted to stay with them, I could. It just trying to stay out of everyone's way. Especially
That's
for last
a weird
week. I don't
comment.
need anyone else talking shit about me about being, a moving chicane. So, just trying to do that. We got a 23rd finish out of it.
Okay.
These are
He's
one of the
really
ones
in his
where you
own
go,
head.
If I wanted to keep up with them, I
if we
could
didn't
have.
have that, it probably
Good Lord.
could have been probably
Just
maybe
end the
top
interview,
15,
bud.
But
Hold on.
either way, I'm still learning. I'm getting more comfortable. I'm getting more comfortable even letting the leaders by. Right? It's a learned
Okay.
art. But I'm trying to think what I'm gonna tweet. Because
Dude,
Why is she still going?
I got bad luck. Wow, I got
How much
bad luck.
amphetamine is he
My
on?
wife doesn't believe me anymore. She's like, I love my wife and she's super supportive, but she's like, maybe it's you. Maybe you're just not good. I'm like, I can't help
okay.
that. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
So
His wife's giving him
That's
shit.
a bummer. That's the
Yeah.
that's where the low tweet
Oh,
came from.
so you're saying that the professional actor who has a wife and family, it sounds like, and she wants him to go back to
What's
work
his
doing
wife's
what he's
name,
good
Paul?
at, and he wants to be a professional race car driver, even though he finishes 32nd in most races.
Look, no one's offering Frankie Muniz acting roles except in Malcolm in the Middle reunions, which is happening. Okay, he's out
Which
there
he's getting a
driving.
shitload of money for.
He should be the opposite of depressed because he hit his lightning struck twice for him on this show.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Bryan Cranston saw that fucking interview and was like, "Oh, we got to fire up Malcolm too."
Look, Frankie
He's
said
the equivalent of
Unbelievable.
Corey Feldman.
Unbelievable.
He's the equivalent
He's-
of Corey Feldman in spending money on his band.
Yeah, if they did the Lost Boys 2 as a TV series,
Yeah. Like Corey, his agent's like, "Me want to go back to acting?" Corey's like,
Yeah.
"Nah, I'm just gonna keep singing these songs."
I gotta give some big props to Corey Feldman because when he was on the Loserville tour this last summer with Limp Bizkit, he was driving his own box truck. Okay, he was getting his hands dirty. He probably because he can't afford to hire a crew because his band's making no money. But I appreciate that he's in it. Frankie's been trying really hard. Okay, and Frankie has struggled since February 14th to finish better than 21st place. He did finish 10th at Daytona back in February. He says, "Our goal is always top 20. I've had bad luck for almost 2 years straight." I want to get into some of his racing record real quick. So he started, guys.
He got a 10th though. Eh.
He started in the Atlantic Championship League, where he started real low, and he was racing for Jessen Motorsports. He had 32 starts, no poles. Okay, then he was in the Xfinity NASCAR Series. His best finish was 105th.
Didn't know they had that many cars in races.
they let some fans race a few times.
He was in the ARCA Menard Series East. His best finish was 16th, no poles. He was in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, 10 races over the last 2 years, and his best finish was 54th.
Yeah, so he stinks.
He stinks.
Yeah,
He stinks.
So he's putting his wife on blast.
He wanted to.
Putting his
Wife
wife on
stinks.
blast about that, but yeah, I mean,
The poor guy stinks. He's been
Yeah,
racing since
yeah.
2007.
He just doesn't have it.
It's been
his
18
criticism,
years.
fair
He's just-
criticism.
He's been racing for 18 years, and the poor guy. I appreciate how he's sticking with it, but if he's not paying for his team, someone's getting a
pulling-
bum deal.
He's
Oh, no,
pulling
he's
the
paying
move that
for
I and
He's
anyone
paying, dude.
that weighted tables would pull potentially. We're like, oh,
How do you think?
I'm new here. I'm just learning the ropes. Like 5 years in.
Right? Yeah, I mean, how do you
Say in
think
the
he
interview,
got?
like, I'm figuring it out. We're
He
young
didn't get
here.
inserted on a pro race team racing for an actual organization on his first race by not paying his own way
Right.
onto the team.
Yeah.
He didn't do that. He didn't become a pro racer out of thin air with $0 of his
He's
own
exposing what a joke all these circuits are too.
I mean, he's in the NASCAR Truck Series, which is where you're supposed to go if you want to work up to NASCAR, but he's not doing good.
Do you think like in Top Gun when he inverted everyone all the time, like two guys come up on the side of him, put him in the middle, and get on the speaker, and they're like, "Where are you, Frankie?
investment. Yeah.
Just don't let him out."
I mean, dude, what was up with that in the interview? He's like, I don't need people. Like, that was the existential crisis he was
A
having.
lot
right
of people
there.
are talking shit about Frankie, okay? A lot of people don't think he's got it.
Well, he's going back to acting. He's going
Record
back to
will show.
acting.
Like, He's going back to a reunion from Malcolm in the Middle, which like if you were on a television show in the 90s, I mean, literally the buses around Chicago still have advertisements. I'm not fucking with you for Seinfeld on them and Roseanne still to this day.
Frankie Muniz is lucky they didn't recast Frankie Muniz. You know?
Yeah. Poor guy. Poor guy.
He should count as lucky stars.
I support him. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, sure, we all support him, but I mean, he needs to get real. He needs to get real about the situation.
Sure, we all support him.
Everybody wants Frankie to be happy, but nobody. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to fucking feed his delusions. Like, I mean,
right. His wife is finally the only sane person in his life, being like, "Hey, you stink. I love you, but you stink. Why don't
You're
you
gonna
come
die
home?"
out there, you idiot.
Yeah.
He's
it's
never
like the most dangerous sport imaginable.
he's never had a drink
By the leaders 1,000 times a race. What?
he's
I'm
never
really
had
good
a
at
drink in
letting
his
leaders
life.
pass me.
I got to stay out of the way. I'm learning to stay out of the way. What does that mean?
Well, because
I'm getting better at letting pass me.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not as angry.
I'm getting better at it. I'm learning.
Oh shit.
But I could keep up with him if I wanted to, but my power steering
Could
went
have got
out.
15th, honestly. Easy.
Oh.
15th.
Step on the gas, Frankie.
This is a fast car.
My foot's all the way extended.
Step on the gas.
I mean, I don't want to be a dickhead, but if I raced 100 races, if anyone raced 100 races,
100. He's at like 500.
yeah, he's
It's a
raced.
hard skill. It's a hard skill, but I mean, yeah, dude, if you put in 18 years and you haven't won one yet, yeah, I mean,
It sounds like he's better than the average driver, but worse than every professional driver.
right.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah, he's a
I
JV driver.
Yeah.
I guess he did win some race. I don't know. I mean, look, I saw this story, and I had read his Wikipedia, and it was just he's won some stuff. He's not
He
good.
won one race, like when they bring in the severely handicapped kid to make a layup in high school basketball type thing. You know,
They had
the season was pretty much over when he won that race.
It was at the Malcolm in the Middle 500 where he got the one win.
A memo went out to everyone but Frankie.
His race crew
don't-
was in on that one.
Yeah.
If we let him win one race, he's gonna fund us for 20 years.
Oh, here we go. He won the Muniz Cup, so he did win an actual cup. There he
There you
goes.
What?
Joke.
That was-
Yeah, it's
It's his last name.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're right. He won nothing.
No, he won nothing.
105th.
The Muniz Cup in Mario Kart. Other live comments. That was Jared Lindsay. Tiller had a good one earlier about MTG's district. Her district in Georgia is mainly comprised of tree people and carpet factories. Interesting fact. And DJ Asa is back. 5 months in Brazil. Welcome
Oh
back.
hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
I was wondering where that guy went. What's up?
5 months in
PJ?
Brazil. He's got some stories.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he does.
Please.
All right. Well, let's all root for Frankie. Don't want him to jump off a resort pool top building.
He's sober. He'll be fine.
Okay, that's good. Good. All right, guys. It's been a rocky start for the Trump-appointed Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. Right?
Yes.
We've talked about him a lot. He leaked those
Highest odds to get terminated, right?
Yeah, well, Trump loves him. He ain't going anywhere. But people have
Okay,
called for his
really?
resignation. But Trump's standing by his boy. Remember, he leaked the plans about the Yemen bombings via Signal Chat, whatever the fuck that means, the Atlantic Reporter. And many are saying that those actions, he's basically a liability. People say that he's a prime target for espionage from people like Russia, China, and Iran.
They're saying he's so in over his head that the Pentagon is just, they don't know, they can't operate right now. No one knows what to do at the Pentagon.
Yeah,
with him in
the
charge.
guys that left and told on him were his guys.
Yeah.
That he brought in.
Well, his the biggest organization he ran prior to the running the biggest organization in the world was like 100 people. So, probably shouldn't be there. But Trump's giving him a shot.
Meritocracy, baby.
There was also the sexual assault that he was accused of in 2017, which came out in 2024. No charges were filed. He handled that matter on the side, kind of like Shannon Sharp will probably do to protect his family and his career.
He's got to be getting that out of the headlines because every single one that goes up is just worse for Shannon. It's not.
Yeah, it's not good. Some new tape was released today after Will and I recorded the Hive Hour talking about it. Patreon.com/HardFactor. Anyway, but again, like I said, Trump is staying by his boy, even though people are calling for his resignation. And by the way, according to this news article I'm going to reference by Jennifer Jacobs and Eleanor Weston, he did not deny news that he shared this real-time information with family members before the strikes in Yemen. He didn't explain why his wife, who isn't part of the government, was on that chat. And that was the second signal group with Hegseth, who shared planned details about Houthi airstrikes. Yeah, so he's got a little problem with his text chats, but we know that. But now
everyone ready for a fart joke?
Yeah,
everyone's safe.
Huge text thread guy.
Yeah, he's a big text thread. Yeah, who doesn't love a good text thread? But now, as reported by two very jealous women journalists, Jennifer Jacobs and Eleanor Watson, Hegseth is embroiled in a new controversy, one which homophobics claim is proof that Hegseth is actually gay. Yeah. Just kidding. I haven't seen the reports about that, but they're thinking it, because Hegseth has reportedly ordered a brand spanking new makeup studio inside the Pentagon where he can be done up like a pretty girl before he does any TV appearances. Yeah.
Okay. Because he wants to be able to, basically, this is so he can do TV from the Pentagon as opposed to going to like the studio, the Fox studio.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So he said during his confirmation hearing that he wanted to revive the warrior ethos and restore trust in our military.
That's right. That's right. I've got a clip I'll play for you about the hypocrisy that's going on.
Sometimes warriors need to put on their what do they call that? War paint, right? War paint.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And so his war paint is to look like a fruit and go on Fox News. And that's his.
You can't be a fruit in the military, though. That's what he said.
You can paint yourself like one so that you can talk to the media.
Only for
it's
media
camouflage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So his little passion project for one of the Pentagon's unused green rooms, that's, I guess, right next to where the pressers are. He, as many women do when planning a remodel, went a little overboard. And initially, the little makeup room for Pretty Pete was going to cost taxpayers $40,000. But according to sources, like these plans do, when a man gets involved, Pete had to give up some of his grand ideas for the studio and scaled it back to his dismay. Every time I talk to my mom, she's talking about how hard it is to convince my dad to let her revamp the bathroom. I imagine Pete went through the same thing with this personal little makeup studio.
Makeup room. Yeah.
Now it had to be just to the specifications.
Of course, we all know before becoming defense secretary, he was a morning show co-host on Fox News, Fox and Friends Weekend. So he apparently really missed having a team of makeup artists there to make.
He's like, half
beautiful.
The reason I got this job is because I look good because of the makeup.
That's right.
The makeup artist is amazing. It's going to change. It's going to change your entire appearance on TV. Yeah. It's a big one for TV.
It's important for the defense secretary to have makeup on. Now, according to an in-house construction crew, they renovated the adjacent green room earlier this year. The room previously had minimal furnishings, table with chairs, TV, photos of former defense secretaries, and a mirror on the back door. Not enough for Pete. This isn't going to do. Now, the table was removed. A new chair and large mirror with makeup lighting was installed. So better. Probably looks something like that.
Oh yeah, RuPaul style.
With like the bulbs going like how drag queens get ready in all the movies and TV shows with the bulbs up and down.
Oh yeah, probably he flicks his dick, flicks his package a little bit right before, like make sure it's looking taut.
He fluffs it.
Yeah. Now, a defense official did tell CBS News, who broke this story, they want to make it very clear that Pretty Pete is doing his own makeup ahead of TV appearances. That's bullshit. Not paying for makeup artists. And the newly renovated bridal suite will also be used for VIP guests to do their makeup ahead of TV appearances from inside the Pentagon. So he's
way gayer if he's doing his own makeup.
But
isn't it 10 times gayer?
It is.
Women don't have a place in the military. Like, who's going to be doing their makeup in there?
The Secretary of Defense is an expert at applying his own makeup. Actually,
civilians can help out, Pat.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
get badged in.
Maybe his wife is the makeup artist, and that's why she's on the signal chat.
Well, his wife was integral in designing this makeup studio for her husband. The chief
We're gonna do a strike. You got to get over here and paint me, baby.
Yeah. The chief Pentagon spokesperson, Sean Parnell, and the defense secretary's wife, Jennifer Hegseth, gave the final approval for the upgrade before it was undertaken. So at night, while snuggled up on the couch while soldiers are out there fighting, Pete and his wife were looking at Etsy and Pinterest on how they can revamp his new makeup studio, which has people very upset. Now I have a little clip.
I mean, Trump, though, like, this is at the end of the day, media is more important to Trump than anything. Yeah. And he's going to require, like, if Hegseth tried to back out of this, Trump would make it cost 10 times more and force it to happen. Like,
we don't need women or gays in the military. I can do everything a gay guy can do better. I can put on makeup better. I can fuck dudes better.
Now, critics are latching onto this because it comes at a time when lots of government spending cuts have cost people their jobs. Meanwhile, Pretty Pete is picking out mirrors and paint colors over at the Pentagon. Here's
Trump, I'm telling you, TV is like, his TV budget will never be fucked with because it's like the most important thing to him.
Here's a message Pete gave to Americans from inside the Pentagon a month ago concerning wasteful Defense Department spending.
With another quick update on our efforts to cut wasteful spending and cut it quickly at the Department of Defense, so we get the dollars to the things that the warfighters need. So today, I'm signing a memo directing the termination of over $580 million in DoD contracts and grants that do not match the priorities of this president or this department. In other words, they are not a good use of taxpayer dollars.
But my makeup studio sure is.
I'm putting a war on blemishes.
Right. Yeah.
So,
war fighters.
Anyway, slow news day, but that's what's going on over with Pretty Pete and his new makeup suite over there at the Pentagon.
Tough start.
Now,
tell you what, you don't want to be a cabinet official named Pete. The last two Petes have had a rough fucking run.
He had a rough start. There was all those train and stuff accidents.
Yeah, dude, both Pete's getting fucking bamboozled in their first run in the cabinet. Oof.
Did you guys see Hegseth did that weird ass Easter egg roll interview where he like tried to be Trump? And was like,
did you see where the bunny was next to Trump when Trump said condolences to the Pope?
Good guy, hard worker. But in that interview, Hegseth had one of his sideburns was cut below the ear, and the other sideburn was cut mid.
Ooh, uneven.
This is why I need a makeup studio.
Shit.
Tremendously uneven, and the media latched onto it. Yeah.
Well, it's the media's fault then that he's getting this new makeup studio because now it'll never happen again.
Trump saw that story and he goes, Pete, how could you let that happen? Pete,
start working on your makeup suite.
You got to get the makeup studio.
Got to get it.
You're like an uneven scale.
Can't have you looking like that, Pete.
One sideburn's too heavy, one's too light.
You look ridiculous, Pete. Holy shit, look at that.
Dude, he put that up so bad. How did he do that? Why does he have sideburns in the first place?
What did the blade, like the thing ran out of batteries?
Yeah. What a weirdo.
Wow.
This is some strange sideburns. Yeah, he needs to get it together.
Get him to makeup studio.
That's because I cut my hair like it's a military helmet. Like that's like a strap.
Yeah. This is
like a new gay signal. One long, one short.
On the left here. The earring's too obvious.
Yeah. No, that's what did it. I think we cracked the code there. That's what did it. Trump saw that picture and was like, "This is over, Pete."
Yeah, I must feel bad for him now. I said, "Give him the studio."
Yeah. Whoa. Okay.
Well, luckily, it didn't cost $40,000. They had to scale back, and they said a lot of the stuff that they used was already, like there. So they repurposed some stuff, but
Trump spent 10 grand on just extra clippers to make sure that never happens again. He just sent him a crate of clippers.
Yeah. Give him a sideburn person.
His sideburns are a mess.
Holy shit, Pete.
Unbelievable. Oh, dude. Donald was pissed.
Just keep looking left, Pete.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, speaking of all that, DOD, Donald Trump, all this stuff. Real quick, you may have seen recently a clip where Trump was like, "We have weapons that are beyond the capability of anything imaginable. It's incredible." And then like nobody's ever going to attack us and all this stuff. And I'm sure that you guys don't know who this is because I had no idea before I did this story. It is White Office of Science and Technology Policy Director Michael Kratzios.
The millionaire that's stealing his son's plasma?
No. It does look like that guy, Brian Johnson, but no, it's Michael Krastios, the Science and Technology Policy Director. He recently went viral on social media after a clip of his remarks at the Endless Frontiers retreat on April 14th gobbled up millions of views from mostly UFO nuts. UFO people are going crazy over this clip. The Endless Frontiers is a summit put on by America's Frontier Fund, a research and development venture capital firm. And Krastios looks kind of like a mix between an alien and an eagle, right? So if he's the UFO alien disclosure guy, good pick, because he's kind of like bridging the gap. He's like half American, half alien.
It does look like he can fly.
Yeah, he's got like the large eyes,
Anyone
slender body, you know, and then he's got the angular beak, like an eagle's beak with the nose. Anyways, good pick if he's the one who's supposed to ease us into this. Here's the remarks that went viral.
Passenger planes are slower than they used to be. Our trains crawl compared to those in other parts of the world. Our cars do not fly. Advances have not stopped, but something has gone wrong. Stagnation was a choice. We have weighed down our builders and innovators. The well-intentioned regulatory regime of the 1970s became an ever-tightening ratchet, first hampering America's ability to become a net energy exporter and then making it harder and harder to build. We seem to have lost focus and vision, to have lowered our sights and let systems and structures and bureaucracies muddle us along. But we are capable of so much more.
I'm with Alien Eagle.
Our
I've been saying we need to fly
technologies
faster
permit us to manipulate
decades.
time and space. They leave distance annihilated, cause things to grow and improve productivity.
So did you guys hear that part where he said we can manipulate time and space?
And the first part I got, which is like essentially like regulatory issues create challenges, like to build, for example, like the high-speed train. Right?
What does he mean we can manipulate
that?
Time
I
and
get,
space?
but yeah, but what's he talking about with the time and space?
Why don't we have a high-speed train? Amtrak is a joke.
It's because it's too hard to build with the
are the Asians and Europeans manipulating time and space?
No, he says that only America basically can, and this has the nerds talking. And from what I can tell, the conspiracy science nerds basically think this means that he's claiming that we control what everybody thinks of as UFOs today. So like, you know, all the little lights in the skies that people catch and think they're UFOs or they're unidentified, what aliens or whatever, or drones or military drones. He thinks the like conspiracy community thinks this is like a soft disclosure that we control those. Not only that, but that those are liquid plasma entities, meaning that we've mastered nuclear fusion like decades ago. And they even believe we've mastered quantum entanglement.
And no one wanted to tell Boeing?
Well, right. And right. It doesn't make any sense for a lot of those reasons, right? But they believe we've even mastered quantum entanglement to the point of using these UFOs where we can create wormholes and completely like teleport giant objects like planes. So this is what they believe that what he's talking about.
They got all that one comment.
Is it manipulating time and space and gravity and all that stuff, because that would mean you can manipulate gravity and whatnot. It all makes sense like scientifically, but it also makes no sense, right? Mark, good point. Boeing, right? Why would we be building these shitty space things when we could just teleport places, right? Like, why would we?
Well, I mean, we
keep it secret for military purposes.
That's what the fucking conspiracy theorists thinks. Yeah. They're like, and from everybody, they think that this guy's saying like, wait, we do the UFOs. You don't understand. We could make a black hole if we wanted to, is what this guy's saying. That's what the nerds are saying. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I hope it's true, because if it's true, then that means like, yeah, I mean, we have some pretty cool shit, but I doubt it. I mean, it seems far-fetched.
I don't think we can do that.
No,
don't think so.
Yeah.
But Krastios says I'm interested in manipulating the time and space. Anyways, you can also see a Moon, Saturn, Venus smiley face in the sky this Friday night, April 25th. Trump is considering making interest payments on U.S. car loans tax write-offs, which is awesome if you want to buy a Chevy Suburban like me. RFK is scaring the shit out of people at HHS with his massive data collection, but he also banned oil-based food dyes in the U.S. this week. So those begin to be phased out by the end of next year. Red dye number 40, yellow dye number 5, yellow dye number 6, blue dye number 1, blue dye number 2, and green dye number 3.
Does that mean no more Skittles?
Means they're going to be a slightly different colored. Yeah, they're going to look like European Skittles now.
Oh.
European Fruit Loops, Canadian Fruit Loops. Everybody else in the world doesn't allow this stuff, but we do because it's made out of oil.
Good.
Petroleum. Not
You got to
like
give
olive
Red 3
oil.
to the Biden administration. That was them.
Oh, well, they had just announced it to today, April.
I mean, they
April
walked
23rd.
so RFK could run.
Oh, well, RFK. I mean, he announced it, so he could.
He's
Wait,
got it.
tr-
I know. I'm
big
saying
ups.
Biden did one. I'm saying he did one.
He got rid of
one
Red
out
3.
there. Yeah, Red 3. So
Fuck out of here, Red 3.
Get out of there.
here.
6
You know,
more.
I don't even need RFK to tell me this one's bad. Yeah.
6 more biting the dust. I know that Red 40 is the big one.
What's the one in
a lot of-
Mount Yellow 40? What's the
yellow 6, I think. Yellow
Is that one
yellow
safe?
5 or yellow 5 or yellow 6. No, those are gone.
Mountain
What's the
Dew.
one that makes your balls shrink?
Mountain Dew.
I think that's also
5.
yellow 5 or yellow 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, big news for the food dye haters out there, which of which there are many. For sounds like good reason because everybody's banned it, but us until now. Now we've banned it too. Okay, that's the show. Thank you for listening to Hard Factor. Remember, patreon.com/Hard Factor if you need more episodes, specifically Shannon Sharp drama. If you want to hear about that right now on the Hive
I
Hour.
would have choked her.
Yeah.
I could put my hands through the phone.
It's some good drama. It's juicy. But most importantly, get out there and have yourselves a great fucking day.
The cream of the crop!